So the story like jumps into Thumpdaddy. You mentioned that the pregnancy 2, 3, and 4 was through Thumpdaddy. So it seems as though shortly after you move here, Thumpdaddy comes into your world. Is Thumpdaddy sort of your first real like project
here? Yes.
Yeah.
Well, yes.
So what year are we talking about exactly?
So we moved here in 2011, and I actually did find some people to start working with, but right about the time that we played our first show at Young Avenue Deli, and then unfortunately that's when they fired the GM of the Chipotle I was working at, made me the interim. And that first week I worked 96 hours.
Good Lord.
That's it?
Salary.
Is that all?
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
that's crazy.
It was not cool. I was very frustrated.
You think? Yeah, that sucks.
All my hourly managers were making like double what I was making because of their overtime. And I'm just like, this is not nice.
Right.
Like, I don't know. Maybe Chipotle will make that right
Life
someday.
choices.
Yeah.
I've made a lot of bad ones, so I know. Yeah. But so how, again, so now how does...
that put a pause on what I was doing with them, and they've all gone off and done some cool things now, but yeah, it's totally okay. I think all things work to the good. But I remember after I had Layne, found another little project for a minute. It didn't really last, but I got to go do some fun things. I got to play a sorority thing in Nashville and actually down, maybe it was Ole Miss. I can't remember exactly. We played a couple things. Like we took trips. We even drove all the way over to Little Rock and played Cajun's Wharf, but I don't think it exists anymore. But maybe it's something else. It was really cool, like right on the river, and it was like a 2 or 3 story thing. It was really nice. But anyway, was really wanting something and had Layne. It was almost maybe a year past in 2014, and ended up responding to a Craigslist ad for a guy named David who lived in Horn Lake, Mississippi. And so went down there, met him. He played drums, and Steve was there because he'd already worked with Steve before. And so I met Steve, and though it didn't work out with that guy, there was a time where we did another rehearsal, and he had found Greg Barrett, the one that is bass player of Thumpdaddy. So he had found him and brought him down, but they didn't really get along. I don't know all of the, I mean, Greg could tell you better someday if he needs to know, but it was not going to work out between the two of the rhythm section was not going to work out. It was not working out. So
I know the feeling.
Yeah. So he decided blah, but he loved Steve. And then Steve and I we'd made a connection where we like would talk on the phone some, and just like we would be becoming friends, even though we weren't actually like singing in anything together. And so Greg reached out to Steve, said, "Hey, I have an idea. I want it to be dance, high energy. I almost don't want the kick drum to ever stop.
Right.
Like I want to do something like that. And I think I know the players, but I'm wondering if we should get a girl. What do you think? I think I want a girl." And so anyway, Steve was like, "Well, what about..." But at that time, I was like incredibly naive. I didn't say bad words at all. He's like, "Yeah, she's not going to work." He's like, "There's no way she can do it.
We got to break her in."
Well, he wasn't even willing to like give me a try, and I didn't even know that actually until later. But he's like, "No, I think she's going to be good."